You kill the engine, lower the stand, lock the bars, and for a second you just stand there listening to hot metal tick as it cools behind you. Then you walk away, but your body has other plans. Your head turns. One last look. You already know it's locked. You already know it's not going anywhere. So why does some invisible pull make you check anyway? You're not confirming the bike is safe. You're confirming something else entirely, something about who you are the moment you're not sitting on it anymore. Most people assume it's about the bike itself, the horsepower, the paint, the way it looks parked under a streetlight. But that's not where the attachment actually comes from. It comes from everything that happened before this exact parking lot. You chose this machine over every other option. You learned its weight in slow turns. You adapted to the flaws no one else would notice. You maintained it, tuned it, made it yours. And along the way, you attached real moments to it, the 6 a.m. commute, the ride you took just to think, the close call you don't talk about, the season it got you through. Psychologists call this the extended self. The things you own can start to reflect who you are. And those same objects become triggers, quietly reactivating memories the moment you see them. That's why two identical motorcycles can feel worlds apart. One is machinery, the other is history, and you're not just looking at a bike, you're looking at a timeline. But here's what's harder to admit: that look back isn't always pride. Sometimes it's reluctance. On the bike, your world shrinks to what matters. Your attention narrows. Every decision has weight because it has to. Your body stays locked into the present in a way it rarely does anywhere else. Then you park, and all of that vanishes in seconds. The street goes quiet. Your phone buzzes with everything you were avoiding. The look back might not be about the machine at all. It might be a small, unconscious attempt to hold onto the version of you that existed 30 seconds ago. Compare that to an ordinary object. Your phone holds memories too, but it never demanded courage from you. Never asked your body to learn coordination, absorb risk, or trust itself in bad weather. A motorcycle is different because it was built through repetition. The clutch you eventually stopped thinking about, the mistake you corrected mid-turn, the breakdown you fixed yourself. That kind of history doesn't fade. It compounds. And concrete objects pull memory harder than abstract ones. One glance at the tank, the scratch near the fairing, the mismatched mirror you never replaced, and suddenly you're back in a specific ride, a specific person, a specific version of a bad year. This is why a beat-up bike often earns a longer look than a showroom-perfect one. The scratches are proof. The wear is proof. You're not admiring the machine. You're recognizing what happened while it belonged to you. Which raises something harder to sit with. Maybe the glance exists because walking away splits you in two. One version keeps moving toward traffic, deadlines, and everyone waiting on you. The other stays back there, sharper, steadier, harder to reach. The look is where those two versions almost touch. But that leaves one real question unanswered. Is this healthy self-recognition, or have you started needing the bike to feel like yourself at all? So here's the answer. Somewhere along the way, the motorcycle became a compact symbol for things everyday life scatters in 100 directions: autonomy, competence, presence, continuity. You chose it. You learned it. You shaped it into something specific to you. And in return, it reflects a version of you that feels sharper, more decisive, more alive. This doesn't mean the bike literally becomes part of you. Psychological ownership means your mind starts linking the object with effort, control, memory, identity, until the connection feels automatic. That's why the glance requires no thought. For 1 second, you're checking in with a piece of your life that actually feels like yours. And it's usually strongest after a meaningful ride. The emotional state hasn't faded yet, even though the ride has ended. So the look back gives your brain one last visual cue before you step back into routine. It's not an abrupt cutoff, it's a gentle close. At its healthiest, the motorcycle works like an anchor, proof that underneath deadlines, expectations, and noise, you're still someone capable of focus and discipline and real choice. But be honest with yourself about the edge of that. If the bike becomes the only place you feel calm, or real, or worth something, that attachment isn't solving the imbalance. It's exposing it. Either way, the truth is this: that motorcycle stopped being just parked machinery a long time ago. It carries proof of who you've been, what you've survived, who you're still becoming. One last look isn't goodbye, it's recognition. So the next time you park, pay attention. Do you take that one last look too? And if you do, be honest with yourself for a second. What are you actually seeing? The bike itself? The memories stitched into it? Or the version of you that only seems to show up when you're riding? Drop your answer in the comments. Tell us about the glance, the bike, or the moment you realized it meant more than transportation. If you want more videos breaking down the psychology behind why riders think, feel, and act the way they do, subscribe. There's a lot more of this coming.